Welcome to Transforming the Trades, the podcast where we empower you to take charge and innovate your business. Whether you're a plumber, electrician, or any other trade professional, this show is designed to give you the tools and strategies you need to succeed. Sit back, grab a cup of coffee, and get ready to take your business to the next level with Transforming the Trades. Hey, Jason, thanks for joining Transforming the Trades. We are looking forward to this conversation. So everybody, this is Jason Abbott with BDR, and he's joining me today to talk about BDR and some of the programs and efforts that are related to our whole mission at Transforming the Trades, which is about not where we've been, but where we're going. So, hey, Jason, welcome to the podcast.
Hey, Lynn. Thank you so much. I'm excited to be here.
So tell us a little bit about who you are, what's your role at BDR, and a little bit of your background. I think that would be helpful.
Awesome. So I am a head coach for BDR. BDR is a coaching organization. Our mission is to help companies through efficiencies and processes become more profitable through better culture, better efficiencies in jobs and in installs and all the things that kind of go into that. So we really are trying to help companies to grow their business, both profitably, top line and also bottom line revenue. And then me personally, I've been in the trades for a very, very long time. I believe I'm going on my 35th year being in the trades, and all this gray hair is probably associated to that. So it's definitely changed over 35 years. I started my career with Roto-Rooter and was blessed to have somebody that took me under their wing and kind of showed me the way of numbers and how numbers affect any business. And so I've kind of been on a journey. I'm now in Florida where I had taken two businesses and grown them, both HVAC, plumbing, and electrical, as we see the kind of the transforming of the trades over the years to becoming home services, a lot of them versus individual trades. So I'm really excited to be here and talk with you about transforming the trades because for me, one of my missions is always to be looking forward and making sure that we are staying on top of things. I think over the years, the trades has lagged behind in a lot of this stuff. And I think that we're definitely trying to bring more focus to technologies and new things that are coming down the pipeline.
So let's talk about that. Let's talk about technology. So at BDR, what's their view on technology, notwithstanding this thing called AI? So what is their view about technology? What's their view?
So their view is really that technology is an important piece to helping businesses create efficiencies. We can't still be writing our invoices on a carbon piece of paper. We have to be moving forward. And I actually can say to you that I bought a business 3 years ago that still had all of their invoices on carbon paper. So, we take a very progressive approach to technology, but we are also guarded. We don't just roll something out to our clients. We want to test it. We want to talk about it. We want to make sure that it's viable and that we can help them to integrate it into their systems with processes and understanding the technology. And it's moving at the speed of light right now, as you know, whether it's, that AI piece or lots of other things that are out in the marketplace for all the trades, whether it's equipment and accessories or, actual software that's out there as well.
Sure. So, we all know that scheduling software is the heartbeat of operations, right? And obviously, financial is typically in the realm of a QuickBooks, whether it's desktop or online. There's a handful, small percentage of the market that uses others such as Sage or NetSuite. But what other technologies are you seeing or is BDR talking about that are important to the operators?
Sure. So, if you think about the training aspect of it, there's companies like Interplay out there that are using virtual reality to train technicians or train apprentices and technicians on the technical aspects where you can actually, if almost like touching and feeling it, but it's virtual reality, which I think is incredibly innovative, especially in the marketplace of, we've all seen people walking around with those big goggles and what virtual reality looks like. And then you have companies like XOI out there that have utilized, AI and other things to be able to help technicians diagnose while they're right on the job. Taking a scanning the serial number and knowing what the piece of equipment is and how that looks, and then the integration into the CRMs and writing the actual invoice summary for the technicians based on their diagnosing. So these are all things that are kind of being pushed into our marketplace. At BDR, I was part of a thought leadership group, or am part of a thought leadership group that's specifically focused on these technologies in AI, so that we are navigating the very best technologies for our clients and making sure that whatever we roll out to them is a viable resource for them.
So, we talk about the field. Is the most innovation that we're seeing in the field? Or are there other innovations that you're aware of that may be also at hand that are, pieces of technology that I think we should learn more about?
Yeah, I think that the manufacturers are moving at the speed of light with the technology for a lot of different reasons. I mean, we're starting to see self-diagnosing equipment. You have on water heaters now, tankless water heaters. They send you error codes. They tell you what's kind of going on with the system. They're Wi-Fi connected. Years ago we started seeing the Wi-Fi thermostat. Well, that's just become exponentially more in tune. You look at a Carrier, Infinity, and they can tell you what all the pressures are and what's going on with it. And we're seeing the self-diagnosing with that. The smart valves in plumbing, being able to recognize when somebody's water usage is more hour to hour and shutting that system down because it detects a leak, to all the kind of cool fixtures that are coming into play. My wife is loves Amazon, and she's excited for our kitchen remodel so that she can get an Amazon enabled faucet. Like when in our lifetime did we ever think that we would be able to talk to a faucet and say, pour me a quarter cup of water for cooking? Like, it's just moving so rapidly, and it's not just in the field. It is really out in the marketplace with manufacturers, and I think as we start to see these CRMs get into play, like, they're going to have to stay up with this as well. I know there's CRMs out there that are inputting AI into their CRMs to help offices and office staff be more efficient. And so it's the technology in the trades is really, you're seeing it cascade into all phases of the trades or of a business, not just in the field or not just on a computer screen.
Well, it's fair to say that if those that we sell to or sell with are technologically savvy, so we must be so too, right? I mean, that you have to be parallel. And the interesting thing I find about technology today, especially when we talk about this topic of AI is not going to replace humans. It's going to supplement humans, and it's going to actually, I think, build our value proposition as humans so that we can be better advisors, better salespeople, better customer care, better operations managers, etc. So we're going to have knowledge now that has been contained in our data storage for years that we're going to all of a sudden be able to leverage to improve our interactions in our marketplace, specifically at the customer level, the customer journey.
I think that the automation. I mean, you think about Zapier now and how that's being played into the marketplace. Creating these sales funnels that are automated, AI generated. All of those things and it's not just AI. Like you said, it's like Zapier is kind of a cool thing that came before AI, and how that all works with a lot of different things. Not just CRMs, but like I have clients that are using Zapier for a multitude of things on their sales side and other things. So I just think that as all of these things are progressing, it used to be that in the trades we worried about the quality of our pipe wrench and not really what was out there for us to become more efficient. But we're seeing in the marketplace that tradespeople are becoming business owners. They're entrepreneurs that are starting to understand that they want to have a better life for themselves. They want to have a better life for their people. And this is created through great processes, great efficiencies, in having the ability to deliver a great product to the customers. And I really think that technology is going to be a huge part of that. And we have to offer to our customers what they're thirsting for, and a lot of that is based on technology.
So when you visit a client, you have an engagement, what's your assessment of that in a client environment? Is there a particular checkpoint that you use for technology? How does that conversation start?
That conversation usually, honestly, Lynn, starts around their CRM and how much they're utilizing it and how much they're not. Because the CRM is really a tool to become more efficient. So if you're using it just to put jobs on a dispatch board and you're not using it for all the capabilities that they now have, and even I would say the ones that are less expensive than some of the, some of these giants, like like a Field Edge or Service Titan, they still have capabilities that allow you to run your business more efficiently. And if we're not using that tool to the best benefit that we can, then we are losing efficiencies. It's no different than trying to hammer a nail with a crescent wrench. Use your tools that you have in front of you to be the most effective. And that goes to the technology. If you have the technology, but you're not utilizing it to its fullest extent, whether it's in the field or outside the field, then we're really falling down on the things that are there to make us more profitable and more efficient.
Well, tell me if I'm right. I mean, you know what we do, and we interact a lot with what supposedly is a CRM. We don't have a CRM in this industry. We have field service management. We don't have CRMs. Are there CRMs out there? Yes, of course. But the field service management software that I'm aware of across all breeds are not CRMs. They manage jobs. That's what they do. They manage invoices. They manage operational processes, is what they do. In this journey that you have come across, you're working with clients. Are there any of our clients using CRMs in conjunction with field service management? Have you seen that?
I have. And those are really the ones that are elevating their customer experience. It's super important. And especially, I think back to a long time ago, like 1980s, when you just showed up to a job, you did the job, and you signed the invoice, and there was no, online reputations. There was, I mean, somebody would probably have to file something with the Better Business Bureau and then they would go through a whole process, right? Like that's not our day and age. I mean, we have everything from social media platforms to Google and Bing reviews. Like all of these things play a part in that customer facing process that we have to be great at to make sure that our customers want to call us. And if you're not managing that well, and just thinking that you're just showing up to jobs, you can really fall behind the companies that are doing that well.
Well, and masters at CRM, I think processes do something that's called nurturing. So they nurture their leads and they also nurture their customers. And so part of a CRM's relationship to that contact or that customer is the workflows to nurture. And that's where I see there is an opportunity for our community to improve, elevate. Good word, elevate, I think. And it is a pivot point. So I think we're probably at a point where, let's go to the 1980s. You showed up, you did the job and walked off, right? Very transactional. I'm done, right? Call me when something else happens. See you later, right? We're in a new age, which is we want to be there and help you understand what the condition or what the status of your operational systems, your home systems are in your home. And we want to be proactive to help you not have a catastrophic event like a water heater that's leaking all over your basement floor or a sump pump that's overflowing when you're a seasonal resident and you don't have a plan. Those are all the things that I believe begin to elevate our clients in a different direction. Operations, I think we are what we are. We know how the money comes in the front door. We know how it goes out the back. We know that, right? We got that. We could argue all day long that there's lots of improvement that can be made to operations, but I think the next journey is the customer journey. So those who know the customer journey are the ones who are going to win.
I 100% agree. I think of all the little things that we can do to change that. And, going back to that nurture, I mean, I use nurture all the time because when I get to a new client or I start talking with someone and they say, well, I just need new leads. My first question is, what are you doing to nurture the ones that you have? Because I always hear, oh, I need more calls, I need more calls, I need more of this, I need more customers. Yeah, well, are you sure about that? Because there's probably 3 or 4 thousand people that you have right now that could use a little love, a little nurturing, that maybe you can grow off of that and not spend thousands of dollars trying to acquire new customers, especially if you're not nurturing those new customers as well as you should be. Let's talk about that pieces first, to make sure that we're going in the right direction.
Yeah, and even I'll say companies with ranges of revenue between 3 to 5 million, they'll usually have several thousand customers in their database. That I don't know the percentage. It would be interesting if you do. What do you think the percentage of one-time customers are to multiple visit customers are in a database on average? 40% are one time, 60% are multiple visit.
Multiple time customers, not within a year, multiple time customers.
Over time, yeah, it doesn't matter if it's within a year. It's really about, have you been there? So 60% are multi-visit. So then honestly, you got a 40% opportunity here.
You sure do. Right there in front of you.
Yeah. So, and even with your multi-visit, there's no guarantee that you're going to get their next business. So if you got to look at it and say, I've been there twice or 3 times or 4 times. And yeah, there are, in the multi-visit, you also have those who have only been a few times. And then you've got those that are multiple times because there's multiple properties they own, or they're a commercial customer or property manager, things like that. It's almost like you've got a whole set of category of customers that are different from, I'll say, the residential customers. So, it's huge opportunity. It's a huge opportunity.
And there's trades like electricians and plumbers that, unless you're nurturing that, they don't know you anymore, because most the national averages, they only call a plumber out every 5 to 6 years. So they're not saying, oh, this is my plumber. They're going, if you're not nurturing and staying in contact with those folks, they're going to Google and finding whoever's available. So that's why you have all these people in your database. If you're not staying in contact with them, if you're not nurturing that experience, you're going to have even a lower retention rate than if you do. So it's really important that we utilize the tools, the automation, the technology in front of us to always stay in front of our customer base.
Yeah, and just to add to that too, Jason, the average times or the average years in a home is only 7 years. So even if you service them, you've got a different type of nurturing, if you will. You nurture to the address, right? So who lives there currently? And then you want to stay with the folks that were the past owners of that residential, and you want to follow them to their new property, right? So it's a mover strategy is what we always talked about in the Yellow Pages, was mover strategies. And so, yeah, I'm dating myself a little bit. Yellow Pages was a gig.
I say all the time, Lynn, that it was a lot easier when I just had to pay for that full page, one truck, in the Yellow Pages, as to what the marketing strategies are now with the diversity that you have to have in marketing versus back in the Yellow Pages days.
Though, Jason, I would tell you, I don't know if I shared this with you, but I did sales in Yellow Pages for 9 years. I was actually a product manager at Ameritech, and I was the headings category manager. So, yeah, pretty fancy, right? Those are called keywords today. Those are keywords, right? So there are still many similarities to Yellow Page advertising as it is related to internet. Is it a lot more dynamic and all this other stuff? Of course. But a lot of those basics of Yellow Pages still apply today. Ranking is a full page, right? And the longer you've been there and the more embedded you are, that's a seniority with a full page. That's what that is. So it's very similar. It's the same model, only it's now, of course, Google. Okay, so I'm going to ask you real quick. What's one Jason vision that might be good advice for our community to pay attention to in the next year to 2 years? That is a pivot point in our industry.
I think that one of the pivot points in our industry that we need to recognize and understand is that things like ChatGPT or that AI are going to change the dynamics of our industry forever. And you can fight it all you want, but if you're not learning the prompts in Chat GPT to get the information you want, or you're not using a co-pilot to make yourself more efficient, or using things like Monday for software, those types of things that are coming up, that are coming out, that are dynamic, that make us better at what we do because of the way that it makes us more efficient. If we're not on track with that, if we're not taking that, we're going to fall behind, and it's going to be paramount to any business. And I'm not going to say industry. I'm going to say to your business that if you want to be at the forefront, if you want to be there, you need to accept it, you need to learn it, and you need to embrace what's coming.
Well, and I'll tell you, you also have to probably start understanding what roles, responsibilities, and skills you need in your business. And they're not the same as they were last year. They are changing.
They are not even close to the same as they were last year. You know, and job descriptions, like, one of the very first things that I kind of evaluate when I take over a business is what does everybody do? The old job description for a dispatcher or a CSR, or maybe even for like a bookkeeper, in a sense, things are changing. Their job descriptions are going to be different. Outsourcing is a reality in today's marketplace. It is part of what we're doing and what we're seeing. Whether it's accounting or it's call center, these things are outsourced, and for a multitude of reasons. So you still have to have people inside, I believe, but what they do is going to be dynamically changed from what the old job description that you would post on Indeed was a year ago.
I agree. I agree. Listen, I want to thank you very much for your time. Thank you for your wisdom. So, you want to tell everybody how to get a hold of Jason at BDR?
Absolutely. So you can, if you ever have any questions, you can email me at jasonabbott@bdrco.com. If you want to know more about BDR, you can go to bdrco.com. That's our website. We have lots of great information on there. There's podcasts like what Lynn does, but there's a multitude of information for anyone in the trades that can always be helpful. And if you ever need anything other than that, like if you need coaching or whatever, we're always there for you as well.
Thanks, Jason. I appreciate your time.
Thank you, Lynn. That was wonderful. Thanks. Have a great day.
Thank you for tuning in to Transforming the Trades. We hope you enjoyed today's episode and gained some valuable insights and tips for your trade business. If you found this podcast helpful, be sure to subscribe and leave us a review on your favorite podcast platform. And don't forget to check out our website where you can find additional resources and information to help you grow your business. Until next time, keep innovating and take charge